I want what you've got. Something we hear a lot, particularly among kids, but it is a mindset that seems to carry forward right the way through many of our lives. I want what somebody else has. I want what you've got. I want what he's got. I want what she's got. Why can't we have the same as you? Hey guys, how you doing? It's Martin Cliffe. Welcome to another video. And this is just a kind of collection of thoughts really going down. I've been reading a couple of good books that have really kind of helped me get my thoughts in order a little bit about this. Not thoughts that I didn't have myself previously, but just ones that kind of reinforce. It's always good to read something from somebody else that kind of helps you along your journey, processing things mentally as you pursue any kind of journey, but particularly one where you focus on enough. So, fair enough, they're titled Enough by John Nash, which is a kind of older book, breaking free from the world of excess. This was really, really good. It's taken me a while to read, and then suddenly I got into it. I've been reading it typically on like trains and planes and stuff, but then I got into it the other day and read what was left, the last 5 or 6 chapters of the book, and then I'm about 2/3 of the way through Essentialism by Greg McKeown, The Disciplined Pursuit of Less. Now this is perhaps less helpful for someone just starting out on a journey of enough, but it does help you get the mindset, particularly if you work in a more corporate environment. It would seem much more applicable to that, and I could have done with some of the tools that Greg talks about when I was working in a school or other environments, much more than the situation I find myself now. But there's some good things that reinforce the way you might think and look going forward, in terms of just not trying to do too much, and in terms of just getting your mindset right for what is important, what is essential, and what isn't, and how can I pare that down or remove that from my life in some kind of way that doesn't upset or offend others, but at the same time helps you focus on what really matters. And it's something that, if you've been watching this channel for a while, you realise is kind of key to my mindset quite a lot. Although I would not count perhaps myself as a minimalist, because there are certain aspects of my life that definitely doesn't apply to. At the same time, there are other things that I have taken those tools of minimalism and applied them in significant ways. Just in terms of the whole thing of not having too much, of just having enough, having tools I need to do what I want to do, having stuff around that I want, but without surrounding myself with clutter. I see so many of my friends whose houses are like crammed to the brim with stuff that they don't need, and if they're honest, they probably don't really want, but they just haven't got themselves into the mindset yet of getting rid of it. Now, a lot of the time, I grew up in a fairly working class area where a lot of people didn't have a lot. I was relatively fortunate, as in I always had what I needed, and we never had excess, but we were fortunate compared with a lot of people who struggled. Life was more of a struggle for. But I went to school with a very different group of people a lot of the time, who had way more than I did, than we did. So I struggled with this whole concept of, I want what he's got, I want what they've got. And the key, I think, is to realise, as a kid, that kind of, you understand that, but as you go forward into adulthood, that's one of the many childish things that, to my mind, it's important to leave behind. Life is not a competition. Life is not a race. In the same way, music is not a competition. It's not about being the fastest or the best. It's about expressing yourself in a way that is fitting to you. And I think, just there are things that kind of are part of your childhood or your teenage life that once you get past that, you want to leave behind, but not everybody does. And it's something that takes time, but I think it's something that's really important. So the next time maybe you think to yourself, I want X because Jim down the road has X. Yeah, but do you need it? Will it benefit your life? Is it something important? And more importantly, what do you have to sacrifice to get that? Do you have to work overtime and sacrifice spending time with friends and family? Do you have to maybe not have that amazing experience that you've been talking about for months or even years because you've got to save up for this other thing? Yeah, we all in Western society, we almost all in Western society, because there are still a lot of people who do struggle, but even then I think something can be learned from this. But a lot of us, we have far more than we realise, and we need far less than we realise. So maybe the next time, you think, I want what he has, I want what she has. Just turn around, take a step back and say, do I need it? What will I have to sacrifice to get it? How will it benefit my life? And how does it weigh up? Pros and cons. Because there are always pros and cons to getting anything. There's always pros and cons to going on this holiday, that holiday, this experience, that experience. And as someone who is more minimalist minded, experiences are more important than stuff. So, a lot of the time we can look at people, maybe people we aspire to be in whatever way, and that's always a difficult thing, and particularly one of the reasons I've recently left Instagram is this whole thing of people, showing off what they have. I have some really nice stuff, but it doesn't mean that you need to have what I have, even as a musician. Just because I have 5 guitars or 10 guitars or 15 guitars or however many it is, doesn't mean you do. You just need to have what enables you and drives you to do what you want to do, to express yourself. And if sometimes not having the thing causes you to be creative in a way that you wouldn't be creative if you had it, angry young man syndrome, I guess, then that's not necessarily a bad thing. So just think, next time you think, I want what you have, do you really? Is it worth going through what you'd have to go through to get it? Or do you really have enough and more than enough than you need? Thanks for watching. Take care. I'll see you soon.